Welcome back everybody to the Trepang lore series, where in today's final episode, we will discuss the TF27 Safehouse. This video will be divided up into two sections, the first being all in-game / developer confirmed information, and the second being my own theories as to where the world and story may go in the future. Returning to base after defeating Horizon, 106 pulls the lever to open the Safehouse door. However, as he does so, gas fills the room, and the director comes over the speakers, telling him to not fight it, and it's time for him to retire. As 106 fades in and out of consciousness, he hears the director say, "It was always meant to end this way," and that 106 is one of many cycles. We then see the beginning of the game as 105 saves 106 before killing himself, as the director tells 106 that he was created for a purpose. We then see 95 free the Mothman, 91 put on his mask, and Subject 78, aka Anton Lazar, throw his medallion off the balcony of the Horizon building. The director then tells 106 that now that your purpose is fulfilled, cycle 106 is complete. 106 then wakes up just as he's about to be incinerated by TF27 personnel. In quick succession, 106 breaks free of his bindings and kills his captors, as the director puts the facility on lockdown. Taking out the responding operators, the director tells 106 to stand down as he makes a beeline towards the nuclear reactor. Taking out the first power core, the director initiates the next cycle. Continuing deeper into the Safehouse, 106 enters cryogenics, where he sees dozens of cycles frozen, all augmented and very inhuman looking. At the end of the chamber, cycle 107 is activated and immediately launches his attack on 106. Fighting his brother, 106 eventually gets the better of him and causes 107 to run away. Following him into the pressure room, 106 is ambushed by more TF27 operatives who have set up charges all over. Taking them out and pushing 107 back, 106 rushes over to the detonator switch and deactivates the explosives just in time. Then, out of nowhere, 107 appears and cuts off 106's left hand before running away. Missing his left hand, but still being alright, 106 continues his crusade to the nuclear reactor. Destroying another power core, 106 reaches the nuclear reactor, but not before being stopped by a drone, which reads, "There is no extraction. Destroy the facility, you will be remembered. Break the cycle." Dropping into the reactor core, 106 must fight 107 one last time as the director throws everything at him. After a grueling battle, 106 finally kills 107. Gravely wounded but still determined, 106 watches the director activate more cycles to stop him. As they break out of their chambers, 106 crawls to the nuke and slams his fist down, hitting detonate, destroying himself and the TF27 Safehouse. However, this is not the end of the story. If you are able to collect all the drones across the missions, you will be met with this final message that reads, "Compiling data from Subject 106 memories, publishing anonymously to 3,968 sources, initiating reconstruction from memories." 106 then wakes in a chamber very similar to the one 107 was in, with an unidentified man saying, "Welcome back, 6. We're not done with you. Yet." And with that, let's talk about the intel. First, we have 106 status report. Objectives: terminate rogue assets 78, 91, and respective organizations. Status complete. Note: armor and speed improvements recommended for next cycle. Incinerator report. 105, body recovered, incineration complete. 95, body recovered, incineration complete. 91, insufficient remains to incinerate. 78, body recovered, scheduled for incineration. 106, preparing for incineration. And moving on to HVTs, we don't really have any, but since I didn't cover the last high-value target, I might as well do it now. The Infiltrator. Real name: unknown. Intel intercepted from Horizon Corporation suggests they have deployed an infiltrator. The agent is likely disguised as a member of TF27. Also, for those of you having trouble finding this guy, he only has a 25% chance to spawn inside the TF27 Safehouse after returning from any mission on extreme difficulty or higher. It took me a long while to get this guy to spawn in my game, so good luck to anyone having trouble finding him. It just takes a lot of trial and error. Anyway, that is the lore for the final mission of Trepang, so let's talk about what the hell we just played. So Task Force 27 and the director appear to oversee a project where augmented individuals, referred to as cycles, are created, deployed, and then terminated upon fulfilling their designed purpose. 105 was meant to save 106. After doing so, he self-terminated. 95 was meant to infiltrate the Pandora Institute. After doing so, he allowed Mothman to kill him. And 106 was designed to terminate rogue assets like 78 and 91, aka Anton Lazar and the Patriarch. After doing so, he didn't self-terminate, therefore breaking the cycle. Again, each cycle is assigned specific objectives and is retired and replaced by the next iteration, with improvements based on their performance. I believe it's also implied that each cycle, should they not self-terminate, will inevitably undergo cellular death, which was a very blink and you'll miss it memo from Omega Facility where Dr. Blackwell mentions something about similar findings to Anton's disease, where he mentions how he's unable to determine the cause of cellular death with the Subject 95 clones. So it appears that the more you clone a singular cycle without iterating upon its imperfections, you only increase the inevitable cellular death that will befall all cycles. And this death is extremely similar to the Pandorium exposure, which ties all the way back to my initial theory. These super soldiers have the potential to be humans mutated by the effects of Pandorium while avoiding the negative side effects like cellular degradation and horrendous mutation. Also, it's unclear if this picture is of a demasked 106 or is 107 being created. Either way, they are definitely looking very Mothman-y in color and design, which is just an interesting thing to note. Anyway, back to the cellular degradation. If Anton's disease is anything to go by, the cellular degradation issue is only postponed. We don't know how, when, or why Anton rebelled against the Syndicate. However, it was long enough to start one of the largest, most successful companies in the world to the point where he became the world's first trillionaire. So it's safe to assume that eventual degradation occurs after a few years at least. Cycles aside, during this final mission, we learned that there's been another player in this game the whole time. So if you were paying attention on various maps across this entire game, there were hints at downloading memories, whether it be from Horizon propaganda or from the drones scattered throughout the game. However, it seems these drones were actively downloading 106's memories each time he accessed one. And upon his death, they then uploaded, reconstructed, and published his consciousness to a new source, a new body. The final drone message stating, "Break the cycle," suggests an internal resistance to the director's plans. It could be a remnant of previous cycles attempting to guide 106 towards rebellion, or a previously unknown ally. Either way, the uploading of memories hints that the cycles are not purely obedient constructs, but retain some essence of their individuality, which the director attempts to suppress. The events of the final mission show that 106 begins to break free from the director's control. 106's escape from the incineration chamber and detonation of the nuclear reactor represents a pretty significant deviation from the predetermined script, and symbolizes 106's rejection of his intended purpose. However, the closing scene, where 106 awakens in a chamber similar to the one he saw earlier, suggests that even his rebellion may have been anticipated. The unidentified man's words imply that whoever he is or who he works for expected such deviations, which may hint at other Syndicate defectors who remained in the shadows instead of building a trillion-dollar empire. Who this shadow organization is, we really have no idea, but we can safely assume they, alongside the newly reborn 106, will be instrumental in taking the fight to the real enemies all along, the Syndicate.